Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Conquest and this is an hour in the life of... It may not be an hour in the end, but we'll see. An hour in the life of the MEIOU&Taxes World Conquest. This actually comes mid-video, but I will be posting this after that video went up. Regardless, we are at the beginning of our year, which is effectively... We're almost at the beginning of our year. Our year begins on the 8th of January, after the... De Gracia, or however you say it, the religion calculations that the game runs. We've got several things going through our head at the moment. Number one, and most importantly, is that the Zhao Truce is going to end in March of 1742. Unfortunately, there is a bug in the current version of the game, which means that Zhao is maintaining control of all of their puppets. There will be no Zhao explosion this day, unfortunately, because their puppets are this special kind of subject, which is a military commission. Military commissions cannot ally together, and therefore cannot create a unified rebellion, despite the fact that when Zhao is not currently at war with them on team, they all have 100% liberty desire. Zhao is obviously facing a vast amount of province trauma that we have inflicted upon them. Our global trade network is bringing in thousands and thousands of ducats. We recently ceased the integration process of our 5 remaining subjects, sorry, 6, that's Champagne, Africa, Wallachia, Crimea, Mazarin, and Muntafrik. We ceased the integration of those because we need diplomatic technology 50 if we're going to get a one-tag world conquest, or at least a old world one-tag, because we need to colonize one of these provinces so we can attack this guy and actually... get him. We need coring range on him. We don't have ages, so we can't get unrestricted conquest, and we don't have any other ability to get at him. We have a vast network of international transports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sets of 32 transports, all designed to very, very rapidly redeploy our vast army around the globe. We are also dealing with a rebellion in Russia. We recently put down a huge rebellion, and I expect there will be many more because there is a huge Orthodox and Sunni population in the region. Europe has bowed almost entirely to Catholicism, but the eastern part of Europe is still a holdout. We are slowly converting it, and our Catholic Crimea is helping out in that regard. But we will see. Sorry, shouldering the microphone there. We will see whether we're going to be able to ever stabilize that region. This is one of the very few regions of the world that are both terrible communication efficiency and not in a colonial region. We saw in northern Persia that this was basically a total downfall. We couldn't hold the area at all, which is why I ended up releasing Mazarin to try and hold it for us. Alright, so we're moving towards this truce. The disabling of Golden Century seems to have helped quite a bit. We're aiming to have all of our advisors be half off. Military one matters far less because military technology doesn't matter that much. Sorry, military monarch points aren't that important to us right now. What is important is that we have a Diplo guy that's half off. That would save us 50 ducats almost, which would be lovely. So which of these has a higher number of diplomatic guys? There's 2 there. There's 1, 2, there's 3 in that one, so we'll take that one. And let's see, did we get a half-off guy of our religion? Looks like we didn't, unless all of these are half-off, which I find unlikely. A new Doge in Imperial La Plata. I'm not sure why he's a Doge, but there you go. You will always pick diplomatic candidates. It's one of the many, many events in EU4 that would benefit greatly from a... always pick options such and such. Just a little checkbox at the side, but I know the engine doesn't support that, so I shan't grumble overmuch. We are creating another colonial nation here, I believe. Let's just check if we actually have some coring going on. Oh, it's already existing. Nice. We will very, very regularly get these pop-ups, which is where if you have a province which follows a certain religion, for example, this Miaphysite one, which neither borders any other nation, any other country which follows the religion it is, and is not the religion of the state, there is a chance each month, I'm not sure, that their minority, that they move away from having this, towards having the state religion, essentially, in 10% increments. We've also seen a fair amount of culture conversion take place in this series. I am happy to say that Umbrian is taking over from Neapolitan down here, which is spread into the lovely city of Napoli so far. We also have Ligurian has spread to fill all of this region, which is very good, and Dalmatian is taking over from the Croatia region, which is lovely. Alright, so what we essentially do is we let time pass, which is passing very quickly today. It's always nice to see. And we wait for something to happen. The things that we basically need to do on the regular, and yeah, we get some lag spikes like this. That's just it's just the way it is. And each month when we get the autosave, it takes quite a while to actually have that happen. And I think you might be beginning to see why this campaign takes me so long, because it is it's a trial. It's certainly a trial. We are once again the papal controller. There are, after all, currently only 5 options, 3 of which are my subjects, one of which is the independent papal state, my noble ally, who we should actually top off relations with, because getting 200 or 192 papal influence a month is just not quite enough. No, only Catholic men are ever going to be welcome at my court. Policy of intolerance is great. We're doing our best to convert. We are at 89 religious unity. Not the best, but we're working on it. I will, of course, say he's a capable man and gain some extra opinion with the Pope. The reason the Pope is independent is because papal authority is important. Let me just pop that up. Unfortunately, we are sitting at 493, which is very unfortunate, largely because, very annoyingly, the Holy Roman Empire is not counted as Catholic right now, despite the fact that it quite clearly is, because the HRE system has gone away. It no longer exists. However, we are getting bonuses from Dualist, Clandestine, Protestant, Reformed, and Chaldean, because none of them exist, which gives us a huge amount there. The more influential the Pope, the stronger the modifier you get from one of these things. I don't know where it is. Anyway, trust me that it exists. From being the Curia controller, gives stronger bonuses when the Pope has more authority. There are other mechanics that are affected by it, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. We could be propagating religion in various trade nodes. I'm only propagating religion in areas where we have essentially 100% of the trade power in our grasp. When we have less than that, I have decided to prioritize. I'm just checking that what I'm saying is true. I have decided to prioritize increasing our profits in the region, because I think that would help more. Where are you sending this money? You're sending it to Kutch. That's wrong. You should be sending it... Oh, this only goes in this direction. Okay, cool. You can't propagate, of course, because you're not a trade company node. You could be, and so should be. Anywhere else? You already fully propagated. Actually, 100% control on that node. Not something you see very often. We are sending our trade wealth inland here, as you can see, because we can make it go more steps that way. We're trying to send it to here. We're actually making locally 25 ducats in the Niger River, which is not bad at all. Then it gets sent over to Egypt, from Egypt to Constantinople, and from Constantinople into the lovely Adriatic. And each time it goes on like this, it gets boosted by 7.1%, which makes us super, super rich. And this one has switched because it's actually got all provinces converted. You can't convert the heathens in uncolonized provinces, unfortunately, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It is now April of 1750, which means, apart from the lag spike, which means that we can repeal the Lapmarcan Colonization Act. The Lapmarcan Colonization Act right now gives us 1 extra colonist. Sure, we will lose people reform desire. The Lapmarcan Colonization Act means we are not permitted to colonize these places, even if we did have Diplo 40, because it just prohibits you from using that colonist to do that. Is there anywhere else I want to colonize right now? I mean, I could be colonizing here. We can colonize here even with the Lapmark Colonization Act just because of a bug. I could be colonizing more over here right now. We could set up an Australian colonial nation. That could be... it wouldn't hurt, right? Get some money out of it. It would colonize by itself. Do I want to repeal the act? Yes, I do, actually, definitely, because it's costing us Diplo power right now. I'll repeal that. We are using aggressive policing, just one level of aggressive policing, which is helping out. Yes, I'll repeal that act. And I have, yeah, we obviously don't face a threat from spending too much on colonial nations. Sorry, on colonial upkeep. All right, we can choose a good, and we are going full leather all the time. Why can't I see trade goods on this map mode? Can you normally see trade goods? I thought I shouldn't I be able to see trade goods on the normal trade map mode? Yeah, where's the trade good gone? Where is this? In Upland. Where's your trade? So they have a mundane trade good. I think, did my trade goods get reset? Yeah, I'm making a mundane urban good here. What? Well, that's a fun bug. That's going to lose us a Christ ton of money. Oh well. We are going to go linen. Linen upgrades to leather, and leather is king. Well, that's weird. Hopefully those events will fire all over the Empire now then. We're going to have these mundane urban goods with loads of production skill absolutely all over the shop. That's odd. It's going to cost us some money to get them set back up, but the money will go back into province wealth, and we do have a fairly healthy income right now. So, the next war with Zhao. They have about 2 forts left that actually, you know, matter in their own land, which are both up here in the north, I believe. It's level 3 in Yan. Isn't there one somewhere here? We can worry about that closer to the time. As you can see, the game gets slightly framey as it does those monthly calculations, but we persevere. I can propagate religion in Malacca, Zhao, Indonesia, right? Yes. None of those places I actually want to be propagating religion, because those are all known contested nodes. We could be doing some more wars to help with our what do you call it? Our trade income, which wouldn't hurt. And there you go. That's an explanation of just how much of the Catholic world we dominate. Every but one of the cardinals land in our territory, even when we appoint all of the people on the list. Nice. Yes, if I wanted to dominate trade better, Persia be a nice one to get some wealth out of. Could also be handling Peru, maybe? No, truce not for a while there. Some religious tensions, not a problem. These guys, annoyingly, I can't conquer because I like to have Castile on scutage. If I turned off Castile's scutage, then we could attack here and feed the land to Castile's colonial nation, which would be fine, I suppose. Could do that. As you can see, yes, monthly ticks. Not the game's favorite thing right now. We do have our own Imperial Columbia already. I think I will continue to put money into our colonial nations, because what we're aiming to try and do is get extra puppets. As you can see, Haiti and Cuba currently, not puppets, merchants. Haiti and Cuba currently not providing merchants to me. And so I am undertaking building programs to give them cities in order to attempt to rectify that situation. Don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll see. How about you, new Holy Roman Empire? They are giving me a merchant. I might be able to get 2 out of this area. It's fairly populous and developed. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people in here. Let's work on getting them a couple of cities too. Have you got anything in the way of modifiers? Just a tiny bit of obsidian. I'm not sure it's really worth building cities in here. Mexico is, of course, already giving us 3 vast, urbanized region that it is. We can take another exploration ideas. I'm not sure that I want to. We may want to later, but we need to get Diplotech 50, so I'm not going to take that idea for a while. Chaldean Church. I will give permission. if they're going to pay me for it. Should be okay. No, it is going to encourage Chaldean conversion. No, I refuse to give permission. We will not have any more heretics spreading through my empire. Lesser nobles are gaining power in places. Oh god, probably quite a few places because of the lack of trade goods. That's an unfortunate bug. I wonder what caused that. Just killing all of my... I had so much leather, you have no idea. One of these days it's going to recalculate every province and just like give me a million different things. Free Cathedral. Prestige is more important. Global modifier over local modifier for me, please. So, when exactly is this truce? It is March, that's right. We could also be doing something with the estates, perhaps. They're all extraordinarily loyal because we've made them vastly wealthy and haven't really requested anything from them recently. They all also have a lot of privileges right now. Hey, greater nobles. The only thing I'm really interested in demanding of these guys recently has been manpower. As you can see, we currently have 1.152 million manpower. We only gain 1,000 a month, which is not actually bad considering what we normally have. A max manpower of 529,000 means we, of course, do not actually gain that 1,000 per month because we are above our cap. Some more papal influence. Basically, the only things we spend them on these days are legates and investing to make sure we remain the papal controller, because it would be annoying if one of our subjects, or more realistically the Pope himself, became Curia controller, because I do benefit from the effects of being the papal controller. The tech cost is nice. The advisors are okay. The diplomat, not the most helpful. Without, what's it called? Mandate of Heaven active, which we have to turn off because it's not compatible with the current version of MEIOU&Taxes and was causing a recurring crash, means we don't have a diplomatic macro builder. But these 2 diplomats that I sent to improve relations with subjects before we turned it off do still work rather conveniently. So I'm quite pleased about that. Did you just finish your war by chance, Zhao? They did indeed. So Yan is back under as a military coalition, military commission under Zhao. Oh, and Zhao just annexed one of their military coalitions. Sorry, their military commissions. Interesting. As you can see, not all at 100, actually. They're better than they were. Some of them up there at 100 liberty desire. And he is spending points annexing them, which is interesting. The corruption is growing, which is not very surprising, considering the levels of corruption. Sorry, the levels of autonomy and corruption from privileges that we are experiencing right now. Currently paying the armies. I don't actually need to be doing that, do I? So let's save some money there. The other option would be to have the armies drill and move towards army professionalism. Army professionalism essentially being manpower, and manpower being one of the main shortfalls. Our overextension lowering our cap by 1 million doesn't help. Yes, I think I'll just lower the manpower, lower the maintenance for now. These guys are suffering high naval attrition. I think they will make it. We will see. They decided to take an interesting route. Where were these guys originally? Yes, they were in Africa. And to get to China, they've gone via the Roaring Forties. That sounds ill-advised to me. The Roaring Forties, if you're not familiar, are 40 degrees north of the South Pole. There is a section of sea which goes all the way around the world here without intersecting with any land masses. And it gets waves with unbelievable fetch. That's the distance a wave has been going. Which results in huge waves, very heavy weather. Are you gonna make it? I don't know. I mean, he's probably gonna make it here at least. So we could have him stop off, reset that time at sea penalty. Yes, the frames are a pain. We are at war right now, simply so that the tribal levies don't get sent back home and they continue giving us manpower. We were just at war, in a nonsense war with this chap up here. Time and weather has all contributed to the beautiful Catholic edifice in Jaunpur. We will repair and renovate it. It's only 500 ducats. Not a cost that scales with your income, fortunately. We should build cities in here, actually. I have decided. Oh, there's already quite a city here. Nice. Well, I will do my best to contribute to it. Down here, likewise, we will want to... Oh, hey, nice. A production building. And here, could also do with some... Good. I believe Peru is already giving me 3. So we don't need to worry about that. It says a bonus merchant. Does Mexico say A still? Yeah. So how many are you actually giving me, Peru? Brazil, Mexico, and Peru all give 3. Everyone else, just the 1. Fair enough. La Plata, do you give me 1? I feel like you probably do. Yeah, La Plata gives us 1. Brazil, obviously, is a huge colonial nation, so highly developed. We actually do have a... I think... Yeah, we don't have a Cape colonial nation, which I would very much like. Which, in fact, I could set up right now. Nice. Because we do not need core constructions in this list. And, yeah, armies can be at the bottom. We could just recall one of these 2 colonists and have them head down here. Because there are some trade post provinces which you can colonize even without the 40 Diplotech that you would normally need. So let's get colonizing 3 trading posts down here. So there's 1, there's 2, and the 3rd will be here. We'll recall one of these guys as soon as they arrive and send them on. There's some endless rebels down here. I honestly don't recall how they got started, but there they are. God, the scroll out lag when you're on the monthly tick is tiresome. Tiresome, to say the least. Looks like my boats made it. They did indeed. You guys can hop straight back on then. And we'll be having you up here in Zhangzhou. Zhangzhou is... Let's see what the supply limit is like. It's fine. It's 47. That's plenty high enough. And of course, yes, many religions in decline, including via direct conversion from us. Nice. We could actually get Empire ideas would still get innovativeness right now, but that's fine. We have maxed out innovativeness. We are managing to stay ahead of time on admin tech, which is helping us out there. We're currently 10 years ahead of time, so actually I should probably be coring. Let's continue just coring our way through India. Just trying to lower overextension. Manpower. Manpower has been more of a concern. We are now pretty much getting a handle on it, but that handle could be lost because of the vast quantity of land we are going to be taking from China, and obviously it's hugely populous, despite my very best efforts to the contrary. And so we're going to want all the cored land we can get in India. I'm unlikely to core any land outside of India, at least until I've cored everything in India, because in India, coring costs cost 1/4 of what they normally would, for no good reason, as far as I can tell. It's purely because otherwise playing in India would be too difficult, because the population is simply too high. But I don't know, that sounds like a cop-out to me. They should do the same to China by that logic, just to make playing in China more easy. They should also change the war score costs on Indian provinces, which I don't believe has happened, so I don't know. I'm no game dev. Alright. My northern road, my glorious northern road, runs through Germany. As you can see, we have various roads through here, and we're working on others in this area. Are you currently constructing a road? They are, yes. Good. Another road I was thinking of building to help with communication efficiency is the Russian road. We currently... Oh, and I never built my road across to Baku. We should get on that. Yes, let's... not force. Let's power our road across towards Baku so that we can get better communication efficiency over to here. It's currently at very poor, which is not... You know, it's not terrible, so it's not as literally as bad as it could be. Oh, yes, that's why it's so inconvenient to do it over here. It's because we have to use these stupid upgrade road thing, which takes several days because you can't interact with provinces that are not cores, unfortunately, using the normal, the normal province interaction button, because it's cannibalized from development, and you can't develop non-core provinces. We could also build up a better dockyard here, and I think we're already capped out. Yes, we're not going to be able to build these great port and lighthouses until Diplotech 40. In fact, perhaps we should be saving up money. Yes, I think I'm not going to build any more roads right now, because we are going to get Diplotech 40 in not a staggeringly long length of time. At which point, I'm going to want to build those huge port and lighthouses like all over my main Mediterranean area, which we are currently languishing with mere port and warehouses. Let me just get a few more of those. This is me saving up. We should also really have some up here, shouldn't we? Why are there not more of these here? And surely I have one in London. No, London, do you not have a port, my dude? What is going on? London has no port. Alright, and then why can't some of these places with the, get these higher level ports? I swear I saw some of these. Yeah, so Picardy, why can't you get the next level port? Because you need a city hall. Well, we can do that. Where else? Here. I just like ports. Alright. You need city hall likewise. Don't even have a town hall. Goodness gracious me. And Wessex, don't you have a good province modifier? Yeah, so we'll get you a city hall as well. You want to build them in places with these soylent harbours and channel. Actually, over here in Kent has some good place as well. Sorry, Kent? Cornwall. My bad. We have some Pueblo separatists? Really? Where is this? Good work, game. Quit. Yeah, the new map mucks it sometimes. Here. It's not a problem. They should be able to deal with that. And we will put that one road since I got the pop-up. That's a big province. 900 ducats for a road? Wow. That's quite a large province. Dharmic religion continues to decline. And more glorious conversions. Approaching the cap on papacy points. So I'll spend some of those. I think it does spend them even with the input lag on the monthly ticks, but we'll see. Don't want it to cap out, be a waste. There you go, yeah, they do spend. And yes, Islam and, let me guess, Dharmic? Dharmic indeed, in decline. That's India just slowly moving towards being, admitting the one true faith. We also, of course, have busy work from our many, many spreads from our trade companies. March tick. Oh, treason against the Holy Roman Empire. That is unfortunate. Recruitment is out of necessity. Something that has to be somewhat decentralized. We lose professionalism, gain professionalism, but the greater nobles lose loyalty. That's unfortunate. We will just lose the professionalism, I think. The lowest tier bonus is disbanding. Yeah. It's not the worst thing in the world. Lower our professionalism, lower the higher the loot amount. The higher the loot amount, the higher damage to the provinces. The higher damage to the provinces, the cheaper the provinces are, and the easier they are to core. There we are. Ravla has got some more ticks. I wonder if I'm going to need to manually go around. I mean, I suppose I could go into the provinces that have lost their trade goods, and if I could do anything to affect their urban production, yeah, like I could lower the urban production skill here, which would affect the which would proc the thing saying like, yeah, annual production growth. It seems all the production centers around the world have actually vanished as well, unless there's one in up here. No. Yes, not really sure why that's happened. A production center somehow tied to Mandate of Heaven? Sounds unlikely. Hopefully next time it calculates where the production centers should be, they'll all reappear. And if they don't, it is annoying. It's a substantial loss of income, but it's not the end of the world. Our transport ships look pretty badass these days, don't they? Got full on... Is that 3 or 2 master? It's kind of difficult to tell at this angle. Oh, it's 2 master. Looking pretty good though. Nice spanker at the back. That's what this sail here is called. Squaresails, jibs, spanker. There you go. Alright, give me... This is a Diplo idea. I have no interest in that, but I would like the diplomatic technology. Apparently the 2nd of May is a very complicated day in the history of our empire. It takes a while for it to calculate. There we go. A permanent navy. That'll be a change. Yeah, I should probably be saving up. Saving up, but still going to spend money in the colonies, moving towards those extra merchants. Because every merchant we can get is just a great value add. Month by month. Not least because every bonus you get to trade income, you know, over here gets passed around and multiplied many times. So what might look like a small impact at the one end, like diverting 5 ducats to go in the correct direction, can result in a huge change down the stream. And the monthly tick taking a while here as it chugs its way through. And yes, the autosave will take us a while as well. Almost finished building those buildings down here. Can't immediately build a new one, even though it might look like it does. Big glowing green boxes, but actually it just tells you that you haven't met the requirement for every building. And it's more declining religions. Goody, goody gumdrops. Hey, Zhao. Your time has almost come, Zhao. I'm just going to continue converting the cheapest ones. Every time we get a decline event firing in a province, it helps us convert it, because the smaller the minorities and the larger... Sorry, the smaller the... The larger the minority following our religion, the easier it is to complete a missionary conversion on that province. Cool. Made converts. Nice. That's what I like to see. I never get that annoyed about the spam of the province, of the you have converted to province, you know, Islam in decline events, because it's good, right? You know, the fact that there is that event firing is a really good thing. It's moving towards having more and more people following your religion, which is obviously excellent. This explorer has been getting used to having extremely long missions drawn out for him. So we'll see how he does on that one. And I have one in the north who should still have a mission, yes, but looks like he could use a new one. Connecting our knowledge of North and South America here. That's what I like to see. North and South America, I mean the North and South parts of North America. South America, I believe we will now know all the tags. There should be no tags in this region here, so we don't need to go there and conquer them. Zhao, it's less than a year, my man. I hope you're marshalling your armies. I bet Zhao's less than 50,000 troops. Let's have a look. Yep, 30,000 in fact. That is all the men that China can afford to rally. And yes, as predicted, my subject is going to go and smash those rebels. Good, which means I won't be able to interfere with my coring taking place down here. I suppose I should pay the men a little bit, so that these guys can actually beat the natives without getting movement locked, because if you get movement locked, it cancels your planned movements. Oh, I have an army over here as well. Forgot about you. Nice, we'll just go figure out what's going on up here, if you would. Want to see if any of these guys migrate to the coast. If they do, I'll immediately declare war on them and grab their land. Because if we can grab 3 in a single colonial nation, then we'll get our own colonial nation that we can use to colonize for us, which would be very convenient. We once we get to Diplotech 40, we'll be able to start colonizing in towards these guys up here. Obviously, we need to send out little noodly appendages. There are people all the way up in Alaska, I believe, so we're going to need to first, step 1, find them. Step 2, end them. hopefully in that order. State war contributions, more men, and we will choose 90% chance of a zealous missionary, which gives us an extra missionary. I misclicked last time I got that event and lost out on my 5th missionary for several years. Not smart. Barreling now towards the war with Zhao. Excuse me, F1. I know the buttons. It's F1-3, F1-4 even. Pay the men. Let's get ready for war with Zhao. So, we have a bunch of glorious siege stacks, and this guy here is going to be responsible for doing a bunch of the carpet sieging. This is because he is mostly tribal infantry without cannons, and so is not suited to do more complicated sieging. With only 30,000 men arrayed against us, although of course Zhao does have many puppets who each have quite a few men. We're going to probably roam around in 16 stacks mostly, which means each of these guys will get split. They are organized such that each category of unit has even numbers. Some of them are showing at less than 30, by the way, because the tribal men that were here previously stood down. And when I brought the new ones in, I didn't actually filter them into each army, as perhaps I should have done. There you go. Good. The Dharmic religion continues to decline, to no one's surprise. We could also... Yes, in fact, I will do that. So speed things along a bit. Some of these guys, like Lang, you have a level 2 fort. That's unacceptably powerful. Wait a minute, you're independent? What happened? No, he's not independent. I guess what did I do? Misclicked on myself? No one's independent in China. Except me, obviously. Oh, and this guy, apparently. Cool. Lang, you have a level 2 fort. And apparently you do spy on military commissions directly. You have a level 2 and a level 3 fort. So we'll spy on both of them in order to get some faster siege speed when we find ourselves knocking on the walls of their fortresses. I would love a little bit more invested in becoming curio controller. Done. Did you do it? Did you do it? I think you did it. Yeah, they did it. No one else invests. I'm not sure subjects actually do ever invest in becoming curio controller. I could be wrong though. Logistic ideas I will like. We will be taking Tech 44, but it's not necessary just yet. More trade value, and let's get to coring. I always take trade value because I think it's most often the best choice, and I am not prepared to take the time to establish which is the best choice every time that event fires, because one of those events that fires on a per province basis, which makes it an absolute pain because it fires a lot. It's not a bad thing, really, because you know, there's no downside to the event, but still, just a touch annoying. Few more months before we take on Zhao, and today is the day we're going to truce break against Zhao. I've been saying I was going to do this for a long time, but today I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to attack Zhao, take a whole bunch of land, and then immediately attack them again. And I think that's just... I think we can handle it. I think the Empire can handle a 3 stab drop. We should then immediately... Oh, the Burghers at 100% loyalty. I really ought to demand something from them. Like, you know, 14,000 ducats. No, I think I'll take city citizenship, please. We currently possess 350 stability points, which it might be the cap, because it doesn't seem to be going higher. We'll see if it goes any higher. It'd be interesting to see if it doesn't. Which should immediately bring us back up to stability level 1 the second we go down. And then if I were to grant a privilege, say, we could very, very rapidly find ourselves back up at stability 2 without too much of a problem. Yes, you converted someone. Congratulations. Okay, keep going. Auto-convert. That's another checkbox. That would be good. Automatically convert the fastest province in your nation to convert. I would love that change. Should you be in 3 stacks? No, you shouldn't. Let's get them reorganized. Alright, December. A mere 3 months. Let's see if the January tick is particularly long this time. Shouldn't be. The January 6th. January 6th, that is to say, is the day on which the event fires to do all the religious calculations. So you often see a spike there. I think it's every 2 years, 5 years. It's this year, I think. So it first fires this one, and then it's just going to hang on January 6th. As you can see, we're not paused. And we will take that, and then once the calculation completes, it will tell us that all our cardinals have come. And if you issue orders to your men right now, I think they do apply, but only after the January 6th tick is over. I think it's once every 5 years. It's possible it's more common than that. Bum ba dum ba dum. This is what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted you to appreciate. The length of time it takes just to get through here. We have done God's work. 100 papal influence and a bunch of legitimacy. And yes, we get a bunch of new cardinals. Good for us. We have 29 now. Just a couple of months before war with Zhao can commence. And lovely conversions around. Is that Lake? That's Chad, right? I'm getting better at my lakes. Wahhabism. We will welcome the Wahhabis, which sounds counterintuitive, but we can just convert it away again almost immediately, and we don't want to have troops deployed in this region to fight the constant Wahhabi uprisings that we're seeing. We did burn the Kaaba, so we have only ourselves to blame, really. What's this? Those are our truces. Okay, they happened a month early. Let's take full advantage of that. We're not at full morale, but we don't need it. Who are you guaranteeing? Is that Perm? Who is this? Langnar. Langnar is a great power right now. That is number 6th in the world's great powers right now. That's embarrassing. Alright, here's the war. Of course, imperialism. Boom. Let's do this thing. How many men do they? How many ships do they have these days? Almost none. Yeah, we'll have 40 galleys. I will unmothball my heavies, which really I should have done earlier. But I very much doubt the heavies are going to see much active service. See, that's the problem. That level 7 fort right there. I'm going to steal this Conquistador. The other 2 I will resist stealing. We're going to want to move straight in, obviously, and yoink the capital. We'll put a general on that, even if he doesn't have siege ability. He can just protect the siege, I suppose. Just going straight for the forts. That's all we're really interested in with these armies. I will, of course, use my Carpet Siege armies to do their titular task on all of the empty provinces. Like so. There's actually a mothballed fort there. Interesting. Are you going to get there in time? Not till April, so no. Well, don't bother then. Let's get around here. You guys, weren't there some others? Yes. No more actual siege stacks. Could rush one of these out to that fort, but I don't think they'd get there in time anyway. Okay, so you guys are filling up that area. So here's the line. To the right of that line is the purview of this one. Fabulous. Everyone's got an order. Every army in this list should have an arrow. They do. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And the guys that got dropped off did get dropped off, yes. Okay. Good, let the war commence. And there goes all of their forts popping into existence across the countryside. And some of them we will get before the end of the month. Get 2 before the end of the month. I mean, they will conveniently fall instantly. They also have minus 80% fort defense because they have 0 mandate. So as you can see, if we look here, this fort has plus 13% defensiveness. Excuse me? Damn it. The Empire of China button is still here, but it looks like the mandate value is no longer actually applying. That hurts me. That hurts me a lot. So yes, there's a bug, which means we can't use Mandate of Heaven, which is a real shame, because Mandate of Heaven was making our sieges 5 times faster. Oh well, we will make do. We have our Napoleonic artillery now, which means we can have up to 6 artillery bonus with 12 artillery. 12, not coincidentally, is the number of cannons that exist in my full 32 stacks. We also have mill points pouring in, and you can see they've raised up their estate levies. We have mill points pouring in, which are earmarked. Done. Did I not get here when there were 0 troops? No. Well, we'll just have to move a proper stack onto that then. We have troops. No, we have mill points earmarked for quality ideas. Sorry, logistics ideas, which are going to, of course, be very helpful with giving us that 10% siege speed boost. And now we switch into autopilot siege mode, where essentially every time we get a siege done, we hit Z and then C to transport ourselves immediately to the location where the siege was completed, and to dismiss the pop-up. And then we give another instruction. Actually, you down here. You press on in there. Good. And we will use the smaller stacks to do these sieges here as well, but we need some larger stacks just to cover our flanks, basically. Yeah, they're slightly increasing in numbers around here. I don't know if we actually need... Yeah, let's just throw some transports out here, although you are badly damaged. Well, 80%. It's not the worst thing in the world. Yes, as you can see, even without the the mandate loss, we're still sieging our way through here very fast. But I'm real mad that the mandate is not actually applying, especially because it actually shows here. It's very upsetting that they aren't getting that. I mean, look at that, plus 60% fort defense. That would be minus 15% if things were as they should be. But ooh, Gaza is now Jewish. Interesting. You know, what are you gonna do? Hey. What you gonna do? Alright, spreading out. Good. Let's, you could find your way to grabbing, where is this, Riga? Find your way to grabbing that province, that'd be good. And there goes their navy being expelled from port. I will send in, yeah, level 6 fort right there. Ouch. You guys want to move straight to that. We'll get a full siege stack with plus 6 bonus, entirely negating the effects of the fort. Lovely. Alright, all of you needing orders. And thus, these wars progress, essentially. Zhao is dirt poor, and so can't afford any decent forts. Some of their subjects are less so, and so can. Therein lies the real roadblocks, all just from the subjects' forts when they're less hopelessly impoverished. We're doing what we can at the moment to take all of Zhao's provinces that have any actual land he's owning. So the land I'm likely taking this war is going to be very heavily focused in this area. I want him to have these super high autonomy provinces, not least because it's extremely fast to siege provinces that have very high autonomy. And if we're going to be sieging them over and over again in the remaining 8 wars that will define the last period of this world conquest, then we're going to need to, you know, try and maximize our siege speed. I wish I could maximize my siege speed with freaking mandate powers, but, you know, as I've said, what you going to do? Right, have we arrived at that big fort in the north? Yes, we have. Minus 28 to start off with. Not as bad, not nearly as bad as it could be. At least we could barrage. No, I can't. Is barraging a Mandate of Heaven feature? That's very inconvenient. Well, I guess we're going to have to live without barrages. Wait, no, it isn't, is it? Equal mandate of heaven. Let me have a look. Barrage. No, it's not in there. No, it is. Yeah, it's a new mechanic. But it doesn't say it's a paid mechanic on the wiki. Maybe it's because it's too minor? Damn it. It is, yeah, it says in the expansion. So we are going to have to play without freaking barrages. It's very inconvenient. I was using barrages quite judiciously to speed things along in earlier bits of the campaign. We'll take these guys a little bit of their distance by sea to speed things along there. Just trying to min-max my use of time as much as possible. You actually can't go there, apparently. Okay. Or you guys getting a bit locked in by all the big forts around. You might as well go and help with that then. You guys can all hop in there. Sure. And yeah, there's our win. Didn't actually kill any of the enemy ships, but that's alright. Didn't lose any of our own either. So not a problem. Yes, that's where I clicked. How did I do that? I issued 3 different move orders with the same with 1 right click. That's interesting. I have no idea what happened there. You guys go to the coasts, and we will have you rapidly transported to another part of China. Good. Kind of peace deal we're going to be looking at in this one. Like I said, concentrating up here, but I do also want the coastline. So we'll probably be looking at something starting like this, and like this, and then cutting off some of this internal area. Maybe like that. And this is getting you an impression of how many more wars we're going to have to fight. Look how little land I can take per peace deal these days. It's, you know, that is it's a small chunk of a very much larger whole. I really need his puppets to declare independence, because if we have to declare on him to take all his puppets' lands, it's going to be more than 8 more wars. I'm really banking on the fact that if we can get him down small enough, they will declare independence. But I need them to declare independence sooner rather than later. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have real trouble. But, well, that's just how it goes. I've resigned myself to the fact that, you know, we started the attack on Zhao far too late in the campaign. Should have been 100 years earlier. But there's nothing I can do about that now. What I can do is soldier on and see what I can do to make good on what I began. I'm hopeful that this video will have explained to those of you that decided to watch it all the way through why it takes so long sometimes between episodes. This is not enthralling gameplay. This is tedious, and this is tiring, and it's dispiriting in some ways when you face bugs that massively reduce the rate at which you can progress by destroying your siege ability, for example. But it is also in some ways fun, and I am committed to at least attempting to see this thing through to the damn finish. I'm going to need another army joining him up there. Perhaps this one. Or we could just replace which army we were sending up there. Yeah, you can go. There, you guys. Split thusly. Tear through this region here. Glorious. There's another win. You... 2 small siege stacks can go north. Did I send them to different places? Yeah, good. 16 can go here. Yes, seems good. Okay. And Yes, they're moving in to start sieging my land down here, but that doesn't bother me at all. They can do as much loot damage as they want. All that does is reduce the cost it's going to make. It's the amount it's going to cost me to eventually core that area. How much loot do we got right now, just out of interest? Probably quite a lot, right? Yeah, 48,000 ducats. Not bad. I've been stringing Nonsense War into Nonsense War for a while here, so not surprising that loot counter is becoming slightly absurd. Okay. Everybody moving. Everybody, yeah, see, there we go. That's what you can do with good siege speed. Look at this. 2-day siege ticks. Just melt them. It's a thing of absolute beauty. Here. Here. You can hop on the boats, and we will have you smashing down the walls of Inthi in no time. Another level 6 fort for you to deal with, and you guys will probably beat the ones I sent here there, so you go for that. And you two can instead divert to here. No, both got on the level 2 fort. Down here, smaller stacks showing that they can still get the job done sometimes. If you want to go around there, actually you'll need 2 if we'd have them to siege that one down. Good. As you can see, we're making very little progress toward war score wise because the vast majority of the war score available to us is tied up in those large subject forts. But that's okay. We will bring them down. All will fall in time. They have before, and they will again. Many times. We have sieged our way through here on a number of occasions. As you can see, my sieges usually begin in the south. The longer a province remains occupied, the higher that damage, that province trauma becomes. I suppose because when occupied by someone, all the normal cycles of a province are interfered with. You know, the harvest, the tax collection, and all that kind of stuff is severely hampered by presence of hostile troops. So it just generally all falls apart a bit. I mean, you know, we're probably nicking all their food and stuff. Free core, always nice. They have come to respect and admire our nation. Good for them. I think I just clicked away a siege finish. There it is. Nice. You two hop out here. Help out on those sieges. Sounds good. And done it. I misclicked on that one as well. It's okay. We'll probably be able to find them. Okay, who else? Him, them, up north. Good. Straight on to the larger fort, please. And yes, I will put both of you on there. Along with just the standard general. So now post raising up of all of their estate troops, you can see they're now more than doubling their numbers, but still just very scared, and so not showing their faces on the front line much. Note this war so far has gone on for this is without the Mandate of Heaven siege bonus. This war has only gone on for a couple of months. And we're, I would say, making pretty good progress. Though I do say so myself. I should have thought of this earlier, but we will deploy some boats. Get our sieges going faster on the coast. You want some peasants in London in exchange for loyalty with the nobles. Very, very good deal. We'll absolutely take that. I hope the fort in London holds out in time for these guys to get here. Can't build in provinces under siege, can you? No, you can. Nice. No? Nothing that actually says you can't, but the button just doesn't work. Lovely. Alright, where was that siege win? Oh, it's that level 6 fort. Wow, that fell pretty sharpish, didn't it? You guys can spread. Nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an hour in the life of a world conquest in MEIOU&Taxes as the lag stops me from zooming out. Goodness gracious me. Notice how many provinces we gained in that tower. 0. Or 2 if you count the 2 colonies that we set up down here, which really you shouldn't. So let's recall from there. As our final act, we will set up the 3rd colony in South Africa. And in fact, I'm going to recall from here as well, because I would like to set one up over here in Australia. And we will see what we can do in terms of range. Ideally, somewhere with a good port. It doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Oh, no, I actually can't send here, right? I need dip 50. Yeah, never mind. That spare colonist I'll get in just a second. Could do a 4th one in South Africa. Sure. I don't think I actually have a 4th one in South Africa. I'll just send him back then. Nice. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope this gave you some perspective into what I have been doing while I've been trying to push forward on this campaign. I will see you in the next episode. See you then. Bye-bye.